And so my point being that if you set your eyes on something, just keep going. Like the worst that can happen is they say no. Okay, well, you can't miss something you never had. But if you keep going, something might come out of it. So it was that. It was me trying absolutely everything under the sun until I realized, you know what? TV presenting is what I want to do. And I went into radio then because there was such a lack of opportunity in TV in the UK. And so I wanted to expand my skill set, went into radio at a local radio station and did that for like 5 months. I was shockingly bad. It was hideous. Honestly, I'm going to play you a clip from it. But it was just like my voice was different. You could tell I'm like super rushed and super anxious and I didn't really know what I was doing. It was going out to like 1,000 people in my local town. And then 5 months later, I moved to Radio 1 Abu Dhabi to host a national breakfast show. So that was a crazy journey for me from going from like 1,000 people to a whole nation.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And you actually never know. Like I always say, every networking thing you do, every job, every relationship, like I feel like we get so stuck in like, oh, that was such a waste of time. But honestly, every little thing has its role and leads you to exactly where you're meant to be, right? So even if that 5-month radio job was like, oh, whatever, it served me nothing, maybe you wouldn't have gotten attention for the Abu Dhabi role if you hadn't had that on your resume. So you just never know how all these things kind of play together. Before I ask you the next question, I'll just share one thing that really helped me continue to be persistent, because it's the same thing with, you know, if you're trying to get certain people on the podcast or you're trying to pitch yourself for certain things, you're going to get a lot of rejection. Like don't sit here thinking just because you see XYZ person on the show, I don't experience rejection. Like it happens to everyone. And for anyone to get anywhere, you have to go through the hurdles of rejection. That's life. But a really beautiful reframe from me was, imagine you knew you had 50 no's before you got a yes. You'd be going as fast as you could to get through and churn through all those no's just so you could hurry up and get to the yes. So seeing every rejection or setback as just, that's one less one before my yes or before my opportunity has been like a really great reframe for me to just keep going, right? And not take it personally, because half the time it's not personal at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you've gone into this Abu Dhabi role and now you're kind of in this entrepreneurial, freelancing, doing a bit of everything. So this transition into being, I guess, career focused to entrepreneurial, if I can call it that, focus. What have been the biggest things you've learned in that transition?
Yeah, wow. So I did Radio 1 Abu Dhabi for a year until Channel 4 poached me over to Dubai.